Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. My name is Cheyne Walls and I'm currently out in southern Utah exploring a lot of the slot canyons out here. And my Tacoma TRD Pro 2018 just hit 115,000 miles. Here's an update. I apologize for the background noise. We are currently in a campsite doing this review. It's been, I think we're on day 11 or 12. We've been camping out here, like I said, exploring, photographing some slot canyons. So the truck's a mess, but it just hit 115,000 miles. So I thought this is the perfect time to do the review. And we'll start off the review with the most important thing. At least this is what I get the most questions or comments on YouTube. How much does it cost me to keep this thing running, optimal, completely safe after 115,000 miles? And that number is $4,362. That's how much this truck has cost me to keep it, and that's not including gas, but that's talking tires, batteries. I'm not counting the top here, but everything else to keep this truck running, that's how much I've spent. So that's pretty good because we're coming up on 6-7 years of ownership, 115,000 miles. So that's pretty good to keep this truck running. I only spent that much. And like I've mentioned in earlier videos, take that number with a grain of salt, just because when I first started this truck, taking it to the Toyota dealership, mistakes were made because I take it to multiple dealerships depending on where I am in the country. I took it to that dealership and mistakes were made, and some things were done twice. The spark plugs were done 3 times on this. They didn't need to be. So that price point that I mentioned, to keep this truck running safely, you probably could have done it for about half that, but that was just my personal cost. On that note of dealerships, that's gonna be my one big complaint about this truck. It's not being a complaint about the truck, it's about the Toyota dealerships. I'm sorry to say, but they're awful. I'm really gonna start looking into taking it to a third party, because the dealerships for Toyota, at least the ones I've been to, they're horrendous. I'm sorry to say it. Since I've owned this truck, I've taken it to probably about 6 or 7 dealerships. It's nothing crazy. Each time I go in, they just tell me, oh, I gotta do this, 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 and this. And before you start writing in the comments that all dealerships do this, no, I've had other cars, I've never had this issue before. It's just this Toyota dealerships. It's so frustrating that I have to keep a detailed log of what was done previous so they don't do it again. There's been multiple times I go into a Toyota dealership and they tell me, oh, I gotta do this, 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 and this. And I have to go back into my records and show them, no, this was done last time. Even if a lot of this has been doing with the same dealership. The last 3 or 4 checkups with this truck, and I take it in every 5,000 miles. The last 3 or 4 have been the same dealership, and they're still doing it to me. So I'm completely frustrated. That's gonna be the big negative in this video, is the Toyota dealerships. Again, I apologize for the state of this truck. It's been on the road now for about 12, 13 days, and I've been sleeping out of it. So it's a mess, and I have all my camera gear and everything stored in it right now. To show you, everything's held up very well. The interior, incredible how well it's not full leather, but let's call it pleather, has held up, as you can see here. So after 115,000 miles, I would have to say this interior is holding up pretty well. The only real bad parts of it are my own fault. I've spilled coffee, dogs go through it all the time, run through this, it gets mud all over. With all that said, I do think this interior has held up extremely well. The inner part of the doors, those are the only places that are really showing the age of this truck and some hard wear and tear. The plastic around the window buttons are wearing, and just the overall interior of the doors is wearing. Something I just learned a couple days ago, this wireless charging port, if the phone is dead, it won't charge it. It has to have a little bit of charge on the phone to charge it. So if you have a dead phone, you put it there, your phone's dead. It won't bring it back to life, so to speak. I thought that was interesting. So the phone has to have a little bit of charge in it for it to charge your phone. Over the 115,000 miles, These little nuances about this truck that I really enjoy is the key fob. The key fob goes a long way. It's signal to start, lock, all that kind of stuff, the truck. And what is really enjoyable about that is I created this little lockbox here. If you wanted to see how I built it, I did another video about it. But this is where I keep all my camera gear so I can lock it up. But what's really nice is when I go hiking, I don't want to carry my keys in my pocket. So I can put them in with my camera gear, keep them safe in the backpack. Locked up in the lockbox, the key fob will start the truck from this spot. So I have to keep going in and out of my backpack. Just keep the keys in there. Obviously, I unlock the truck, but keep the keys in there, throw it in when I'm done after a long day of hiking, go start the truck. These are my second set of tires. The first Goodyear Wranglers, I think they last about 75,000 miles, which is good. And I'll be the first to admit, I do a lot, maybe not a lot of off-roading. I don't go looking for off-roading. If I need to get the photograph, I'll do it. The tires really, 80% of the wear was on long freeway drives. Nevertheless, 75,000 miles is impressive. What's even more impressive, I'm still on the original brakes, both front and back. These drum brakes are still in the green. The front disc brakes, I think I'll have to switch probably at 120,000 miles. Original brakes, that's incredible. The caveat though, for both the tires, brakes, and just in a second you'll see the MPG, I do drive like an old man. I'm never in a rush on the freeway. I just set it at 70 and just cruise. So that could explain some of it, but still, the way the brakes, tires, and MPG of this truck is pretty remarkable. So as you can see, our MPG is down over the last couple years. We usually average about 25 miles per gallon. Right now, we're only getting 22.4. And this is a good MPG to show you for when we're not doing long-term travels with the Tacoma, what your MPG is. All these are with our long travels. I travel all over the country in this truck, so that's where we're getting long distance on the highway. So that's where we get these really good MPG numbers. This is more of kind of an everyday, round town, that kind of stuff, because over the last few years, we've been renting a camper van to do longer travels. Just a little bit more comfortable, easy living quarters, and I can take more people with me. So that's why this hasn't done as many long-term travels this last couple years. So that's why the MPG has dropped. But this is probably better overall average what a Tacoma would get in the way of MPG. Maybe the only other little nitpicky thing that's a problem with this truck is the entertainment system. It is on the older side, I understand that. It does lag a little bit. It doesn't really connect with my phone now. It's a newer phone. It has a hard time with the Bluetooth connecting with it. The traffic, never trust the traffic or the navigation on it. It'll get you there, but the time of arrival is never really right. But other than that, you know, all the buttons work. If I press the button, it does what it says it's gonna do. It does what the picture says. Everything still works here, up here, and that's kind of impressive these days, especially, you know, when Dodge and Chevys, their buttons stop working after 2 or 3 years. This 6, 7 years old, no problems. I mentioned in all my videos, because when I first got this truck, the back shocks used to squeak and it drove me nuts. Now, at least for the last 80,000 miles, I haven't even noticed them or cared, and you hear a little bit of a squeak. It's nothing. All the other trucks, my buddies' trucks, they all have it. So I just like to put it in every single video because I made such a big deal out of it when I first got this truck. Drove me nuts. Now, absolutely nothing. I was being way too picky. Paint issues. I get a lot of questions in the comments asking, do I have paint issues with my 2018? Because I think the 2016 and 17 had paint issues, especially back here on the B-C pillars. I am having no issues with the paint at all. This is a garage car. This does spend a ton of time when we're out traveling in the sun, so no paint issues whatsoever. Sticking with the appearance of this truck and the paint, I'm gonna toot my own horn here and say it looks amazing. That's down to me a little bit though. This is my baby, and this is waxed with turtle wax probably about 5 or 6 times a year. So that's really helped its appearance, and it is, again, it's a garage car when it's not out on the road. Searching for gears, the 2017 and 18, some of the 19 Tacomas have been known for that. I've never had really an overriding or big issue with that problem, but it does need to be said, when I first got the truck, I had a little bit of that, but also too, when I changed out the battery and I didn't do it the right way, I completely unhooked it, I was lazy, and then rehooked it in with the new battery, so the truck was dead for about 30 or 40 seconds. The searching for gears with the engine and the transmission came back. So that was interesting, but I think there are some computer systems in this truck that learn how you drive, because after a month or two of driving it the same way I always have, those shifting or searching for gears, that issue completely went away. And over the whole life of this truck, I've maybe had a problem with it over a couple of months. It's just really with steep hills at altitude at lower speeds. That's where I've kind of see it, but you just flip it into sport, maybe shift into fourth or something like that, and it's no issue. I know this has been a bit of a boring video. Honestly, there's not much to talk about. The truck is bulletproof, knock on wood. Knock on wood. I'm amazed at the truck. Nothing really has gone wrong with it. The fuses, the lights, brakes, nothing. I haven't changed any. The only thing I've changed on this truck are the tires and the battery. And of course the fluids. Just want to jump in real quick, as during editing I noticed I missed something in the script that does need to be mentioned. Two things were replaced on this truck due to recall: the front grille sensor as well as a gas pump. Now, I was not having any issues with these, but since they're a recall, I replaced them anyway. I apologize. I forgot to mention them. They were in the script, but I didn't pay for them, so I forgot about them. There is still one more recall on this truck, and that's the back top taillight. It's been mentioned that it leaks. I have not had that issue and have not replaced it, because to replace it, I would have to take off my camper shell. So that hasn't been replaced. But now you're fully up to date. Back to the video. That is it. And that's pretty incredible for I'm sorry, I keep forgetting if this is 6 or 7 years old, because it's, you know, you buy the year before when you actually buy it. Anyway, all after 115,000 miles. That's it. That's all I can speak of. And this video is probably going a little long for just those little things, just nitpicky things. This has been a great truck, and it's driven, got across the country. It's, you know, been through snow, blizzards. The coldest it's probably been is negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. The hottest it's probably been over 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The truck just keeps going with no issues. It's pretty remarkable. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, even though it was kind of a boring video. It's just, the truck, it's bulletproof. It really is. But we're only at 115,000 miles. I really want to get this truck to 500,000 miles. Don't laugh, it's gonna do it. Even through all the hell I put this truck through, it keeps going and asking for more. So I cannot tell you how happy I am with this truck. It is so dependable. I never have to worry about it. There's so much going on with these travels that I do. Photo shoots, you know, finding a computer to do this, finding internet, finding all this craziness going on, going through snow, off-road, 6 hours of off-road, 12 hours of on-road. The truck has no problem with it. It is so remarkable. I'm so impressed with this truck, and I love it dearly. I do. I'm not embarrassed to say it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. We'll see you for the next one, 120,000 miles. We'll have another update video for you. Thanks again. Cheers. So I only noticed this after leaving the campsite, that on the back of the Tacoma where we put the license plate, I was renewing my California license registration sticker, and it's just plastic back here. And now that I notice, the screw just keeps turning. It doesn't fit tight. So what I do is, quick little tip, I use the Loctite 222. It's a fastener that holds it but doesn't lock it into place, so you can break it with a little bit of force and it'll hold the license plate. Want to breathe some new life into your home or office? Why not do it with some fine art nature photography? Through my exclusive fine art photography, I celebrate the beauty and grandeur of nature, but also the solitude and peace that I feel when I'm outdoors. Limited to only 18 prints per image, I use the best possible cameras when capturing that perfect moment in time, allowing for amazing image quality on any scale. Industry-leading printers with top quality materials to create these nature scenes as if you were there witnessing them for yourself. Check out my website for more information on these award-winning photographs.